Hey everyone, this is Faith. In general, a question that I actually have right now is, does Brant really deserve some of the flack that he gets? Jane's story, in regards to Brant was just all over the place, and it was all over the place when Angela defended what Jane said as well. I mean, it's not consistent. And honestly, can we honestly state that Brant necessarily did anything that was really wrong when he teleported? He was not in control of that, from my understanding. So, even if you want to say, oh, it was a demon who teleported Brant or whatever, Brant still had no control over that. So, even if you want to say, oh, it was just the occult or whatever, Brant still had no control over what was happening. Is it really fair to say that it's terrible that Brant did this when he had no power? And let's say everybody is totally wrong and it was Jesus who was teleporting Brant the entire time. I'm sure that'll be embarrassing to those who are insisting that it's evil that for Brant to have teleported in the first place at the end of the day. From what I can really tell, Brant left the Pentagon many years ago, but he's still being held accountable for being in the Pentagon, and people are still treating him like, oh, he's still there, even though he's not. In general, I do not care what Brant's past might have been. That might have been Brant's past or whatever, but it's not like he's suddenly unredeemable, even though Angela made it out that he must still be in there or whatever. It's like, I don't think Jesus cares about his past in the Pentagon either, since he repented. So, I mean, who cares? Who cares? It doesn't matter. From what I can tell, Brant is a very nice guy, and he's only distancing himself because he got hurt. And that's fine. It is okay to do that. It is okay. It's acceptable to distance yourself if you are in pain because someone else betrayed you. That is fine. He never did anything wrong. And it's kind of clear that when the story is all over the place about what he supposedly done wrong, meanwhile, he hasn't done over half of what he's been accused of, it's kind of obvious that lies are being told. It is blatant and in your face. I don't care if Harbinger says, no, it can't be obvious that lies were told. No, I don't know that lies were told or whatever. Harbinger can say what he wants, and he is lying to himself and to me, and he thinks that's fine. You know? It's blatant and in your face that Brant was lied about. It's kind of obvious. I think the more and more you look at all the contradictions that everybody who falsely accuses him make when they accuse him, it's blatant and in your face. No amount of Harbinger saying no, it's not, does not make the obvious stop being blatant. First, Jane claimed that Brant had arrived on the scene, claiming to be one of the two witnesses. We know that this is not true at all, because they found out through Chanel from the letters. Later on in the entire interview with Jane, Jane stated that the man had not done anything. And that is a blatant contradiction, because she was actively accusing Brant of all of these things, like trying to draw her in or whatever, saying that she wasn't good enough But then later on, I get close to the end, Jane states that Brant didn't do anything. Believing Jane on anything makes so little sense that it is ridiculous. It's blatant that lies were told. Just because you don't want to believe Jane could have lied does not mean she didn't. I'm pretty used to by now the fact that the enemy does like to take logic, toss it out as far as he can, while accusing others. I've seen how little logic there is to all of this. There is none. All that's really everybody is actually doing is just picking on people who don't deserve to be picked on. It's just an excuse to be a bully. And that is not okay or acceptable or anything like that. So, Brant worked for the Pentagon many, many years ago. So what? He doesn't work there right now, does he? Oh, I know Jane is probably going to say, yeah, he still works there. So will Angela, but that's just not the case. From what I understand, Brant left that many years ago. And from what I understand, Chanel left the JWs many years ago. So to use all of that as an excuse against him, just to pick on them, that's not right either. Firstly, God is not going to ask you to lie about people in order to get them kicked from a community. That's just not in his nature. It's not in his character to lie. Or ask us to lie as well. God also does not hold people's pasts against people either. Who is the father of lies? Satan. Who is the accuser? Satan. Who holds people's pasts against them when they're down? Satan does. Kind of obvious. Blatant. In your face. Who actually wanted all of this? And to insinuate that it is Christ who wants most of this is an insult to Jesus. It does not make me happy that Jesus gets insulted in this manner. I don't think it makes him happy either. Anyway, I guess that is all for this video. Just to reiterate, in general, Brant does not deserve it. Even, let's just say that Brant and Chanel are totally deceived on the entire teleportation thing. They're still not in control of what happened, so they should not. So since Brant was not actively attempting to try to do it all on purpose, it should not be held against him that he experienced that. I will see everybody next time. Thank you for watching.